Welcome to Musing with Tonya D. I am your host once again, Tonya D. And welcome to Spring Cleaning, part of my Nature Series podcast. When you think of spring, what do you think of? It's like, woohoo! Spring is here. It's time for excitement. There's the sun is shining bright. It's time to come out and play. You can do your own dance. This is actually nature's birthing season. It's the time of creation and development. It's all restored with life, and it's at the beginning of spring. And it's found within us in winter surfaces, and it wants us to come out in full bloom of spring, to be later nourished by the summer sun and bring out the fruits of autumn. And the beginning of spring is March 21st, which happens to be my son's birthday. And it's the time of spring equinox because it's equal day equals night, or equal day and equal night. And for the next 6 months, daylight, the sun, and the yang principle with the dominating element of our lives. And you may even feel a new spark of power in this season. It's how the body gets filled with inspiration and energy and how you act upon ideas. It's a good time to look back at your life and make a new plan. So, what do you want to clear out as the past in your environment and within yourself? And what do you wish to see happen this year? This can actually be your fresh new start. So take a little time to write a new health or life plan, including goals for how you wish to feel, or what would like to happen, or what would you like to do or see happen. Let those dreams just blossom, because spring is the greening season. It's the time for planting. So after the rain and the snow of winter, the seeds actually begin to sprout. You can see them bursting through the soil, the trees budding. Nature awakens in her greenery, her flowering beauty. It's like new growth in our lives, even our relationships. Your work can even be stimulated. So, along with nature, we will flourish this season too. So, the spring season is actually the wood element. And in the Chinese system, with the 5 elements, the spring season is correlated with that element of wood, which actually it governs the gallbladder and the liver. The wood element refers to living and growing entities like the trees, the plants, and even the body. They grow simultaneously outward, upward, down, and inward. The development of the root structure, as well as its early nourishment by the sun, the air, the water, the soil, it provides the strength and the growth to the organism. And yes, you are an organism. And each one of these has its individual requirement in each area. So, being the wood element, it refers to the growing structures, the roots, the trunk, the limbs of the trees and the plants, the spine, the limbs, and the joints in the human body. So, a wood imbalance can result in actually having spinal problems, poor flexibility, weak rootedness of an individual. And also in Chinese medicine, arthritis is actually viewed as a wood problem. And the color associated with this element is the predominant one of spring, green. It's the green of young plants. And someone will either be very attracted to this green color or really dislike it. It's showing that the element of wood is possibly imbalanced. If this is the case, a greenish hue may be apparent in the skin of the face, especially on the cheeks and even around the eyes. The nature of spring and the wood element is described as the beginning or the birthing phase. Mentally, it corresponds with the idea. So the wood element creates our mental clarity, our ability to focus, to plan, and to make decisions. So a wood imbalance may be manifested as poor judgment, poor planning, and poor organization, with an inability to actually make decisions. Or a very strong, overdeveloped wood element can result in excessive mentality. For example, a person trying to organize everything and everyone. It's almost like a controlling person, right? And this person can even have a hard time relaxing, might be prone to headaches, neck, and even back tension. So the direction associated with the wood element is the east. It's the beginning or the creation of the day as the sun rises in the east. And the element rules the morning. So a healthy wood element gives one the capacity to rise energized for the day. A sluggish liver will make for a slow morning riser. So the climate for the spring, or the element of wood, is characterized by the wind, where it clears the old and brings in the fresh new air. It's like transition from winter to spring. The wind nourishes the wood energy. But however, too much wind can actually be harmful. So in the spring, if the wood or the liver is weakened or injured by overexposure to extreme winds, you might get symptoms associated with an unbalanced wood element, like poor resistance to illness, allergic sensitivities with all its many symptoms, such as sinus or even skin problems. For me, irritated, watery eyes. Because the eyes are the sense organ for the liver and the wood element. So the sight is the sense and the tears are the fluid, according to the Yellow Emperor's Classic of Internal Medicine. And the eyes are connected with the liver. Therefore, they and the vision are strengthened when the liver receives blood. So problems of the eyes, vision, tearing, the mechanism, they're often related to a wood energetic imbalance. So each element has, along with its sense organ, a specific indicator. Both can be observed to get an idea of the health or balance of that particular element in the body. The nails, especially the toenails, they are the wood element's indicator. So you might want to check both the eye tissue and the nails for the state of the health of your liver, or the wood element in your body. Of course, this is only one way of checking the balance of the elements. So the wood element is also associated with the taste or the sour flavor. In the Nai Ching, it says the liver craves the sour flavor. So some sour foods will nourish your liver, but too many can actually cause problems. A person who craves sour or even vinegary foods or has a distaste for them can actually be revealing a wood imbalance. The emotion of anger and the sound of shouting are related to the wood element. So if you feel these inside of you, you might wish to express them in a safer way, because suppressed anger can injure your liver along with your gallbladder. So, a balance of energy allows you to experience and express all your emotions. Held in emotions of any kind can actually breed dis-ease. Tissues governed by the element of wood are the muscles and the ligaments and the tendons. And they're parts which actually will hold us together or give us both strength and flexibility. And they're areas that are become problematic. They create an imbalance or a weakness or a congestion in the element of wood. So either in the liver itself or in its energy channel, or the pathway that I like to call them instead of meridians, creates muscle fatigue or weakness, and the two possible can be difficulties in the body. The element of wood actually gives the ability or even the capacity for control. So if somebody has a wood imbalance, it's met with a challenge, or even more importantly, a request for change, because they may respond, because these people respond by trying to control either the behavior or the situation. An element of wood can also give the spiritual faculty to life. The liver is the home of the soul. The element gives us the inspiration, the desire for life. So if it's weak, you might lack enthusiasm and the spark to live. So remember, in the spring, all living things are restored by new light. So there are many natural substances that actually can support a healthy function of the gallbladder and the liver, which help protect us from the chemicals, alcohols, fatty foods that a lot of us consume. Apples, apple juice, apple cider vinegar are all helpful for the gallbladder function. Olive oil is a great nutritive, and I do fresh lemon and lemon water is my very favorite. There are also many herbs like milk thistle, dandelion, licorice that will support the liver. So when we talk about the element of wood in the season and the liver and the gallbladder, they're the organs of the spring and the element of wood. And they carry out essential body functions, particularly the digestion, along with the processing of many substances that we actually take into our bodies. The liver is the body's largest internal organ. It's located right below the upper abdomen, and it conforms to the undersurface of the diaphragm, so the breathing muscle which separates the chest from the abdomen. So if you think about it, where life itself, it depends on our lungs, our heart, even our circulation to bring oxygen, warmth, and nutrients to all cells in our body. The liver provides essential support to these. With more than 100 known functions, we can't live without it. However, the liver has an amazing capacity to actually regenerate itself even after surgery, illness, or injuries. The liver is the body's master laboratory. Isn't that awesome? So essentially, it stores along with distributes nourishment for the entire body. It's involved in the formation and the breakdown of blood. It filters toxins, that's its purpose, and unused materials from the blood. The liver cells make bile, which aid in digestion, stores the bile in the gallbladder to be used in the intestines for further breakdown of fats and for enhancing the small intestine's ability to absorb fatty acids. The liver also aids in the metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, proteins, and it helps keep your blood sugar level regulated by changing fats and proteins into glucose. So back again for storage. So many of the enzymes that help catalyze the liver's own internal chemical reactions, they're produced by it. It also forms a lot of gamma and plasma proteins that assist in the body's defensive system. The liver also has some amazing other functions, the ability to help and assist in blood clotting. And it can actually form vitamin A and then store it along with other vitamins like vitamin D or even B complex. It can also store minerals like copper, zinc, and iron. And as it filters the blood of toxins and breaks them down for elimination, the liver actually has the capability to deactivate hormones like our thyroid and our sex hormones. And then it goes along and influences the ability of our metabolism. From a natural viewpoint, when the liver is actually overloaded, it is less able to detoxify the blood, and so poisons can remain and potentially lead to many acute and chronic problems, which can manifest them in your individual weaker areas. Overstimulating can lead to an enlarged or overworked liver. And too much of any kind of food, especially alcohol, chemicals, drugs, fried oils, and meats, can be toxic to the liver and the gallbladder. So the gallbladder actually sits beneath and is at the front edge of the central area of the liver. And the gallbladder stores and secretes the bile for digestion, especially for the breakdown of fats. And it actually concentrates this bile by allowing an absorption of water. So an improper function in the gallbladder can cause gas or even cramping in the abdomen. And it's mostly commonly in the right upper abdomen, as well as to the referred pains to the shoulders and the back between the shoulder blades. And these are the Chinese acupuncture system, and it will describe it as a sensitive flow of energy, which affects by the outer environment, as well as by our thoughts and our feelings. And the continual flow creates health and harmony, while its disruption or a blocked flow can lead to symptoms and oftentimes diseases. So with the liver and the gallbladder, the organs that are related to spring, you can see that the backup of the gallbladder energy can manifest itself in physical and mental tension, especially in the shoulders and the head, but also in the hips and the thighs, the areas that the gallbladder meridian pathway actually connects to. So also headaches, both tension and migraine, are related to the gallbladder in Chinese medicine. So anyway, that is enough on today's podcast. Thanks for joining me. Next up, I'm going to talk about nutrition in the spring.